What is up, everybody?
Hey, y'all.
I think we're on. I hope we're on.
You think or you know?
I never know. It's more like a hope.
You hope, you pray, you wish.
I hope, I pray that we're on. You know, I don't really know sometimes.
You dream, you believe. You gotta have faith. Because you gotta have faith.
Sometimes I have faith. Sometimes I'm like, okay, this is really going to be bad, however we slice it. Today, not so much. Today, I think we're good. So, Law and Disorder coming at you from the Wee Shed. Is that what we've determined we were going to call it?
It is the Wee Shed. It's all inclusive.
The all-inclusive Wee Shed. Coming at you from the Wee Shed. Law and Disorder. Let's thank the sponsors. East Texas Championship Wrestling. Wave Space Audio for the music. KenyaLinahan.org. Tantalizing Tip to Toe by Myrna. Young Ideas Dish for all of your Dish Network needs. And Game Store in Richardson, Texas.
Yep.
They're still alive and kicking.
Yeah. If you need something to do, they have COVID protocols in place so you can go play safely. And, you know, go join some tournaments.
Yes.
Yes.
They're cash tournaments too, aren't they?
I think some
isn't
are.
there money involved?
Some are, yeah.
It's like legal / frowned upon gambling going on in there. I don't know what goes on in there.
I mean, it's not gambling. It's a strategic game that you're playing. It's not like it's completely up to chance.
It's true. Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a bowling
No,
league,
it takes skill. It takes, you know, experience, and yeah.
I think it's kind of like a bowling league. I think they have like a pot, you know, and then there's like winners in the tournaments, if I'm not mistaken. No gambling involved. We're just gonna take that away.
Friendly wages.
Friendly wages.
Wages.
It's good to see you.
You too.
2 weeks in a row. Wow, 2 weeks in a row. We've done this now 2 weeks in a row. We've had interesting times this week. I don't tell people what goes on with me, so I'm just not gonna do it. You know.
Hey, it's your business, man.
Just say it's been a fun week.
It's your business.
It's been a fun week. Yeah, excitement galore. You know?
Well, you know what fun I've had the past few days that I've been doing at home?
What?
Pulling weeds out of the yard.
You just got that yard.
Yeah, and it's full of weeds already.
You just got that yard.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you talk to somebody about that?
Yeah, the sod hasn't even grown in. The grass is still dormant. It's just now starting to pop up, and it's full of weeds. So you think they would have died after the horrible ice storm we had 4 or 5 weeks ago? But no, they're kicking.
They're like mosquitoes. They don't die. They just, what do we say? They hibernate?
Yeah, they hibernate.
Or they cryo freeze?
Yeah, and these things, I don't know how they grow because our grass, our sod is pretty much dead, and then underneath is just like crap dirt, right? And these things just thrive in this crap dirt, and I'm pulling these weeds out, and these are the weeds, I don't know their scientific name, but they're the weeds that look like long blades of grass. So they trick you. Like, you think you're growing this beautiful grass in your yard, and it's not. It's a weed. And so it's like these big, long blades of grass. And, like, I'm pulling them out of the ground, and their roots are, like, this long.
Yep.
And they're so hard to get out of the lawn. And I'm like, well, there's no nutrients out here. How are these things growing?
Just dirt.
It's literally dirt. Dead grass on top of dead dirt with no minerals in it. There's no, I just don't get it. But we've done about, I'd say, a third of the yard, and that was me working on it for an hour and a half one night by myself, and then me and Harrison both working on it for an hour and a half the other night.
So, you've only been there since, what, middle of January?
Yeah.
Are they already going to send you a notice for, like, not keeping up with your grass?
It's in the backyard.
Oh, it's in the backyard.
This
Okay,
is
I
the
thought it was in the
backyard.
front yard.
No, the front yard wasn't as bad, and I've been pulling the weeds from the front yard too. So the front yard looks pretty good, other than like just dead grass. It looks good. It's fine. But the backyard, it's like it's just gone crazy, and I wish I would have, you know, pulled them sooner, but I didn't realize how bad it was.
Okay, I thought this was in the front yard. I go, they'll cite you for that. These HOAs don't play around with that.
No,
stuff.
it's in the backyard.
They'll still cite you. They'll send the drone around.
Yeah.
They'll send a drone around and they'll say that your crabgrass in the back is too high.
And it's so funny because I'll bring my dog out there, just like sit in the backyard while I'm doing it because he'll freak out if he's inside by himself, and he'll watch me pull the grass, and he's giving me this funny look the whole time. He's like, what are you doing in the ground? Why are you pulling the ground out of the ground? Like, I peed there. That's mine. Like, what are you doing?
Dumb, yeah. Here, I'm going to go pee on there right now for you, Mom. Like,
I fertilized that. What are you doing? This is my masterpiece.
I've been growing that weed for the last 8 weeks. That's my friend. Like
you're a dog. Your whole spiel is that you dig. Why don't you dig up these weeds for me? Yeah. But whatever.
That's actually a really good question.
Whatever.
Yeah, why are you digging up the good grass? Dig up the bad grass.
It's not even good grass.
It's not even grass.
There's not even real grass yet.
So, we got some shenanigans to talk about tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, I say sometimes there's not stuff going in the news, and there's always stuff going on in the news, but I mean, I feel like right now the only things going on in the news are just like everything that has to do with COVID and legislation that deals with COVID. Not saying that's not important, but I want to talk about other stuff because there's just so much information out there on that. I'm not going to touch it. So I found some interesting stories that we can go over tonight.
Okay.
This first one, I'm just going to read you the headline, and you can think what you want. So here's the headline of the article. Man arrested after allegedly pulling down his mask at grocery store to kiss baby he didn't know on lips.
Okay, and this is the mugshot of this guy?
Yeah, the article, the first word says man, and so I'm when I read that, I'm like, oh, some 30-year-old man kissed a baby. No, this looks like some 18, 19-year-old high school dropout that hasn't showered in like 3.5 weeks. I mean, I don't know how old this kid is, but this looks like a kid. This does not look like a man.
So, according to the story, a police officer in Springfield, Oregon was flagged down by a father who reported that a stranger, later identified as this Mr. Austin Blake Stewart, had, quote, just pulled his face mask off and kissed his daughter on the lips inside the grocery store.
A 1-year-old baby. A baby. And wasn't like, oh my God, what a cute baby. I mean, first of all, you don't kiss any kid that's not yours or related to you. That's weird, okay? And especially with COVID, that's why this is such a big deal. It's like a crime at this point. And he didn't even like kiss it on the head or on the hand. He kissed it on the lips.
And so apparently the investigators found him under a blanket on a nearby street. So he's just like hiding. He's like hiding under a blanket. He's like, I can't see me.
Is he homeless?
So they're, oddly enough, I have a blanket here. So the cops are coming. You're just like, they'll never find me.
Maybe he was trying to, I don't know. I mean, that makes me think he might not have a home.
I just thought that was kind of wild. Don't ask why I have a blanket under here, but it's just like.
That's okay. Is that a blanket or a towel?
It's a blanket.
It's a blanket. Okay.
But I'm just like, random dude just kissed a baby. And like, oh, okay, if I'm the police officer and I'm looking around the neighborhood, the first guy I'm going to go talk to is the guy that's trying to hide under that blanket. Like, Mr. Obvious. You're hiding under a blanket. Like, it's springtime. There's no reason to be under a blanket.
Okay, so it says farther down the article that this guy is 24 years old. So, not as young as he looks in his picture, but his picture makes him look like he's like an 18, 19-year-old. But he was arrested, obviously. He was taken to jail. He's been charged with physical harassment and disorderly conduct. Oh, my God.
And this is actually the second police incident involving children in Springfield this week. First one included a kidnapping. So they've had a busy week in the crimes against children department at the Springfield Police Department.
Hide your kids. People hide your kids. They ain't safe out there.
I'm just still tripping out at the guy, like at the guy just hiding under the blanket.
That's so funny to you. It's like the kid hiding behind the curtain in the living room.
You're never gonna find me. They'll never know I'm here.
It's camo. It's a camo patterned blanket. They can't see me.
No, he's like under like an orange blanket. He's under something really bright and colorful. And he's the only person on the street just hiding under a blanket. Whatever.
I'm sure the mom at that time saw this happen and probably thought she was tripping. Like, did that actually just happen? To someone to kiss your 1-year-old baby on the lips, a complete stranger? Wow. Like, wow.
I don't know. That just seems... I guess I'm still trying to figure out what happened. Like, what made him want to kiss a 1-year-old baby.
Loco in the coco? You know, I don't know.
It's weird.
People are weird. That's why I picked the article. I'm like, that's pretty weird. That's pretty weird.
Yeah, good job. Good job on that one.
Oh, you're welcome.
So this next story, you need to tell me the story on this because I've just heard about it. I haven't really read about this story.
Yeah, I've heard about this happened a few days ago. So, some of y'all might have heard about what happened in the Suez Canal. So this is a canal that is, I believe, next to like Egypt and Africa. And it is a very important canal because I think over 10% of goods are shipped through this canal. So it's really, really important for ships to get through it. Well, one of those really big 59 wide container ships, like the really big ones that you see with all like the giant
It's 59 meters
boxes on it. Yeah.
meters wide, which equals to 194 feet.
Yeah. It's really big. It rammed into a side of the bank of the canal. And it's got stuck. So like if this is the canal, like, you know, it's perpendicular, the ship is stuck this way. Like the front is diagonal to the back and it's stuck. So you think, oh, that can't happen. That ship's too big. That doesn't happen in real life. It totally happened.
It did happen in real. Oh, look, there's even a little picture here.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, like right here. Oh, not you. CNN article. Right here. There's the ship, and he's blocking everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's literally blocking everything. He's just in the way. And yeah, they're saying that to go around the canal, to avoid the canal altogether, adds 2 weeks to a ship's travel time. That they can't even fathom having to do it. And how many? 3.3 million tons of cargo go through this waterway every day. 50 ships on average every day. And it's like a day-long canal trip. So it means slow down in the delivery of goods, fuel, and essential material between Asia and Europe.
Yep.
They're saying that factories may have to close. Factories that are relying on stuff from Asia may just be like, we gotta close. We don't have any supplies.
Well, they're having a really hard time moving this ship, and they're not exactly sure if it was one thing that really caused this to happen. It was probably a mixture of things, including like failure of machinery, human error, natural events like high winds, reduced visibility, probably is what caused it to run ashore. So just kind of like everything, I think, came together at the worst possible time and caused this to happen.
This canal has been open for nearly 150 years.
Mm-hmm.
They built it in 1869. And when they built it, I'm sure somebody asked that question. You know, there's always that one guy, that one quality assurance guy that's like, well, what if this were to happen? And like, Joe, you're being negative. Like, it's never going to happen. I know, but what if? They're like, no, it's just don't worry about it. Don't even put a plan in place for that because it's not going to happen. No idiot would ever do that. Fast forward 150 years later. Mm-hmm. That dude's a genius. Mm-hmm. He wanted some kind of contingency in place for this. There was no contingency.
And what's so weird to think about too is that this ship is literally causing a traffic jam in the canal. So like you and I are used to being stuck in traffic on the road. Imagine being stuck in traffic on a boat in the middle of a river. Where are you supposed to go? Nowhere.
No, and I don't know if you can necessarily just back them up in reverse, can you?
No, they finally got the propellers on the boat to start working, and they've been running them trying to dislodge the ship. But I mean, it needs more help, and they have tugboats in there trying to pull the bow of the ship out, and they're still not having any luck. So it could be. They said it might take days or it might take weeks before they're able to get this ship freed.
What?
Yeah. Very tragic. Very horrible.
Weeks?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Could take days to weeks.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Is there anything... So everybody waiting on their PlayStation 5 and Xbox, you're going to be waiting a little bit longer. They're still scarce.
I mean, I'm not saying that's what's on these ships. I don't know what's on these ships.
I'm just saying, like, something that's on back order that everybody wants, like the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, they're there. They're there, and they're just sitting there. Nobody can get their hands on them. That sucks.
It's saying here that the ship will have stuff like essential goods and products to battle COVID-19.
Oh, cool.
So this ship was carrying a lot of supplies to go to countries in Africa who don't have supplies to fight COVID-19, like face masks and soap and things like that.
Cool. Yeah. Why couldn't it have been a cargo ship full of PS5s? We kind of need the COVID gear. That's so wild.
Isn't that just dandy?
It's just dandy.
Just great.
Lovely.
So this is all over the news, so you can keep an eye on it. Hopefully we'll hear good news here in the next few days or week that they get it unstuck.
Or
But
months.
man,
Or months.
that was not. That
It
was
might be months.
not good.
Moving on.
Yeah, I chose this next article because you have a child.
Yes, I do have a child.
Your child. I don't have a child, so this doesn't apply to me. But North
Hanging
Texas.
out with me is like having a child. Just remember that.
I feel like sometimes I take care of you.
Yeah.
Well, I saw this article. It made me think of you because you have a son. But North Texas school districts are starting to make changes to COVID-19 guidelines in the classroom.
Yeah, so they're saying that now that they're going to allow the kids to be 3 feet apart instead of 6.
And now it's saying that the plexiglass dividers that they have, like in between desks and stuff in the school, don't really have an effect on the spread of the virus, apparently.
Hold on. So it affects it doesn't have an effect negatively or positively?
I think what they mean is
useless?
that it doesn't do anything. Yeah.
So it's useless either way.
Yeah.
Okay. So now they want to cram more kids together is what I'm gathering.
Something like that. So I think Richardson ISD, it says here that they're taking the dividers down. And they want it to be, they're seeing this as one less physical barrier to learning.
It's a piece of plexiglass.
But that's a barrier to learning for some kids. How are they
How?
supposed to learn with a piece of plastic in front of them?
It's clear.
But that's blocking their learning.
I don't understand.
That's blocking their learning, Sergio. Like the teacher's talking on the other side and all the smart stuff that's coming out of her mouth is being blocked by the plastic and that kid's just not hearing it. They're not going to absorb it. It's like she's speaking, a different language up there. Why are they even there?
It's because you're boring, Miss Teacher. That's why. It's not the kids, it's the curriculum and the way it's being taught. You're boring. You're boring my child.
I'm just a little concerned about the 6 feet to 3 feet.
I mean, I think it's really more about trying to fill up more classrooms. Oh, classrooms with more kids.
Trying to put more desks in there.
Yeah, but okay. Here's the thing, though. You're like 6 weeks away from getting out of the school year. Like, why are you trying to rock the boat now? Just keep going. Like, why are we worried? Like, I understand. My kid's been out all year. We've been doing at-home learning, distance learning. And we got to the end of the first semester, and we kind of started exploring moving him back into the school physically. And the school told us, they go, well, if you do that, he's going to lose his teacher. He's going to have to get a new teacher. He's going to start over with a new teacher. Which, I mean, I get it, but he's so little that I think that, he's 7, so I think that he needs to stay with the same teacher. I think it would be obviously a lot to have to accustom being in front of people and then having a new teacher. So we opted to fight for that. Like, all right, let's just deal with it for another semester, another couple months. But why would you change stuff now? Like, I understand that you want to have, less teachers for the kids, but why now? It's almost over. Like, just deal with it. What exactly is it benefiting you to do now?
I think it's because, and I can only speak for Texas parents. I can't speak for other parents. And not every Texan parent, I will say. And I'm not a parent, so I know I can't speak to this. But I think a lot of parents want their kids back in the classroom because they're tired of having their kids at home.
And I agree. I concur on that.
And they think, well, they got, the school knows what to do. They're following the CDC. It's fine. Like, just send my kid back to school, get him out of my hair. And a lot of these parents, not all of them, but I think some of them, based on where we live and the environment here, a lot of them don't believe in COVID. They don't care about masks. They don't care about social distancing. They don't care about that.
Mm-hmm.
So like, they don't care at home. So why should they care when they send their kid to school? I mean, It doesn't matter to them. So
I guess
they
if
want
we're
their
being-
kid there.
I guess if we're being frank, if you're sending your kid back to school, you don't care one way or the other. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, sorry. That's my opinion as one that kept their kid home.
Yeah.
I mean, like, because the schools have never been clean. For any kid that's ever got pink eye, like one kid gets pink eye and 50 of them get it.
Or lice.
Or lice or anything like that. I mean, little kids in school are
Disgusting.
They're disgusting, yeah. I'm pretty sure I could eat off this floor and it would be cleaner than a kindergarten floor.
Yeah, or kindergartner's desk.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Ugh.
So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I get it. I get why parents are tired. Well, I'm tired. He's been here all year. Love him to death. But we're tired. And we're ready to go back. We're ready for him to go back. But we want it to be safe. We don't want to send him back just to send it back.
Nope.
So.
And we're so close because now that vaccinations, a lot of people are vaccinated. They're becoming more open. I think starting next week in Texas, anyone 18 or older is eligible for a
Are you
vaccine.
excited?
Yes.
You're going to go get your vaccine?
As soon as I can. There were some available in a town near my house, but they already got filled up, so I missed the chance to sign up. But I'm not worried. I think I can get in the next month or two. I'm just going to get on a list as soon as possible, and whenever I can get in, I'll get in. But I'm so excited. And so more people are getting vaccinated. So maybe next semester after summer 2021, so fall of 2021, it's very possible a lot of kids can go back to school, because I think maybe little kids will be able to get the shots then, or at least if all the adults are vaccinated, the kids are more safe.
I think they're working on a variation for the kids of the vaccine.
Yeah.
So, okay, is there a cutoff point before the wedding that you will not get the vaccine? Because a lot of people have, some people have said, oh, it bruises, or oh, it swells up, or it causes a knot, like the second vaccine, like if you're doing the two. Do you have any kind of concern? Like, is your dress, is it showing arm? Is it got how's your dress?
I mean,
is it sleeveless?
Yes, but
So,
I'd rather get the vaccine and have a bruise on my arm than not get the vaccine at all. I'm
okay,
not.
So if we get to the week before the wedding and they're like, hey, you can get your vaccine.
I'm getting it.
You're going to get it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Even though you may get a bruise, it may swell, or you may get a rash.
Yes.
You're good. Okay, just
I'm getting a spray tan, so that'll help. And then it's called The Power of Photoshop.
I know, but the power of the live audience will see that, ooh, she's like, oh.
I'd be proud. I'd be proud of my bruise. Be like, I'm vaccinated. I'm good.
Okay, just wondering. I was just wondering.
No, I'd rather get vaccinated.
If I had to wear a sleeveless dress, I'd be like, nope, it's gonna look good. I'm not gonna. I'll wait.
No. Now, am I gonna wait the day before? I mean,
Don't
maybe.
do it the day before your wedding.
No, I'm gonna be busy. But I mean, I'm not gonna wait till the very last second to try to get my shot or shots. I will. I want to get on a list as soon as possible. So I'm hoping to get him here in March. Not March, but April, May is my goal, my ultimate goal. So
you can't come in here.
we got a visitor
We have a visitor.
over to the
Well, yes.
over to the side.
You what, sir? I can't hear you. Okay, well, I'm good, son. Love you. We got a dog and a small child invading our space here.
No.
So we're gonna keep trying to.
Oh my God! There's a dog running
This
around
is the excitement of a live
Ah.
show in the wee shed.
in the wee shed.
Yeah, Andrew, just say hi. You're in it now.
I got a best friend. Hi. Oh, so sweet. Hi.
Okay.
I love your
so he's
puppy.
gonna-
I
all
love
right,
your
he's gonna
puppy.
Leave us with Marley. Cool, Marley the dog. Okay, cool,
Oh,
cool. That's Andrew, everybody.
give it up for Andrew.
Yep. Okay. Before we were rudely interrupted. Let's. What else are we talking about tonight?
Well, I did have one more thing I wanted to cover, and this I saw, and I was like, "What? That can't be real." But I think it's real. So Prince William, the Prince William from England, was named the world's sexiest bald man, according to a study.
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna point out that he still has hair on top of his head, and usually as you can see in the picture, he does have a little fuzz up there, and he's got some baldness going on. most of the time when guys still have hair, it's because they're refusing to admit that they're bald. Like they're still holding on to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that if I have my hair cut like that, and I'm still trying to hold on to the fact that I have hair, if somebody were to vote me the sexiest bald man in the world, I'd be like, but I'm not bald. Now, if you had named him the sexiest balding man,
Balding man.
balding man. But I'm just looking-
Sexiest large forehead man,
I'm
because
just
your
looking
forehead
at this-
goes all the way back.
I'm just looking at this picture, and I'm like, he still has hair on his head. He's still trying to live the life of a guy with hair, and they just voted him the sexiest bald man alive.
So the study was conducted by a cosmetic surgery specialist, Longevita, excuse me. And they did this. They came to this conclusion by researching how many times Prince William was called, quote, sexy in all kinds of like online blogs, web pages, articles, social media, all that kind of stuff.
And how many times he was called bald? Like, sexy
I guess just sexy, and because he's bald, you know, I don't know. It says that according to the study, he's been called sexy 17.6 million times. So, like, second place, just so you know, and he won by a lot. It's not like he beat some other sexy bald man by like a little bit. The second place winner was Mike Tyson, who came in second at 8.8 million.
Okay, so I can think of like 4 sexier bald men. and I'm a straight man, but I'm like, okay, The Rock, Mike Tyson, Jason Statham.
Jason Statham was in third place.
Who else is bald? There's somebody else that's bald. Bruce Willis. He's been bald for like 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's many other guys that could have been named the sexiest bald men that are actually bald men. That have actually been bald for quite a while. But he's not bald. He has hair on his head.
Mm-hmm. I would even pick, what's his name? Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
He's older, but man, he looks good.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Sir Patrick Stewart, he looks good as a bald man.
But look at him. He has hair. He has hair on his head. You can't name me the sexiest. I don't know. That's like, I'd be mad if I was a sexy bald man. I'd be like, I'm sexy, and I'm really bald. I'm not losing my hair. I've already lost it. It's gone.
Someone on Twitter posted, "Have you seen Stanley Tucci?"
It's true.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So maybe it's like, I don't know where all these 17.6 million posts came from. I'm guessing a lot of it came from that country, people that live there. Because I don't know about you, but I don't think about Prince William. I don't think about the royal family, with the exception of them being in the news the past few weeks. I've never thought about them. No one I know thinks about them. That's on the other side of the world for us. What does that have to do with us? We don't think about that.
I still want to know how the hell he's bald. He's not bald.
It might be all the stress and
No,
responsibilities
I'm just saying, like,
in
you can't
his
call him
life.
bald unless he's bald.
Maybe like your forehead has to be big, like large enough. Like once you're like a certain measure back, like maybe like if it's, you can have a big forehead, but if it's like past the crown of your head, maybe that's considered bald.
But you know what? In his defense, his 99-year-old grandfather has more hair than he does. Prince Philip, he's 99 and he has more hair than he does. So, yeah, your grandpa has hair. Where's your hair at? I don't know.
I think it's just stress. I don't know.
He really needs that crown to cover up that.
Yeah, that crown will cover that up one day. It's fine.
Or it'll slide right off.
Yep.
One or the other. Have you seen The Crown on Netflix by chance?
I haven't. It's on my to-watch list, though.
It's like 4 seasons long now. Mm-hmm. And it tells many stories, of the royal family, based on real events, based on factual information. It's interesting. It's quite interesting. Like, you watch it and you're like, I didn't know all this happened. We weren't alive when she first became queen. I mean, she first became queen like 75 years ago. Mm-hmm. So there's just certain things we don't know because we weren't there. But she's still there. She's still here. She
what
knows
a life.
Yeah. She's been alive since before World War II.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And she's still been queen.
She's still kicking.
Like, she's been... Who Who else do you know that's been at their job for like 75 years?
I don't. Well, no one.
I don't think it's been it's pretty close to 75 years, if I'm not mistaken.
But I'm trying to think of another British monarch who held power for a really long time. And I know not this Queen Elizabeth, but like a past like Queen Elizabeth the First. I think she was queen for like over 40 years. So I'm actually not quite sure who the longest reigning British monarch is.
She's been queen for 69 years and 48 days. Queen Victoria comes in second. Queen Victoria was queen for 63 years. So Queen Elizabeth has torched her. The next closest third in line was King George V, and he was only king for 25 years. So she is the top of the list by 6 years and counting.
Wow.
But everybody else is averaging like 25 years or less.
Well, okay, but think about it too. These older monarchs, they lived in a time where people just didn't live as long. It's still pretty amazing for someone to be 90 years old, I think, in this day and age, but it's not so unheard of anymore. Long time ago, like in last century, no one lived to be 90. So yeah, these monarchs only ruled for 20, 30 years because then they just died from old age. And,
but who the hell's been at their job for 69 years? In 69 years, what have you learned?
Don't you want to retire at some point, you know?
I actually had that conversation with Myrna one day. I said, can she retire? Like, can she just say, like, hey, I don't want to be queen anymore? She's like, I don't think so. I think she has to die. Like, I don't think she can just say, she can't, like,
I think the only way she can do that is if she relinquishes, like, her title and she's, like, cut from the royal family entirely. I think that's the only way, which she doesn't want. We don't expect her to do that. We just want her to, like, peacefully retire. You still keep your title. Like, you're still part of the royal family. But yeah, I think she'd have to be cut entirely and her title would be taken away.
I mean, if it were me and I was the queen, I'd be like, look, I'm gonna issue some kind of proclamation that you can only be, you know, king or queen for 60 years.
Term limits, right?
Like, make some ungodly number. It's like, no way in hell anybody's gonna hit this again.
But doesn't that like counts towards democracy, like term limits, you know? You can't put a term limit on someone's reign.
It's almost 70 years. Like, there should be a retirement age.
I mean, I don't know what she eats and drinks, but I'll take some of that if it'll keep me alive that long.
I mean, I didn't realize it was 69 years. I mean, what do you do? Like, you go to the same job every day for 69 years.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people that can't even last at the same job for 9 years, let alone 50 or 60.
I think the most I've heard one person being at a job was like 30 years.
And
it was the only job they ever had.
I wonder if she has anything at her desk that's been there since the beginning. Like if she has like a favorite chair or like a favorite like footstool or something that's just been there for so long that they're like, yeah, we just reupholster it every 20 years. Here's her footstool that she got, you know, in 1949. Like we're going to, you know, 1952, sorry. It was there when she sat down and it's still here and we just reupholster it every couple of years. You know?
Yeah.
That's your favorite lamp in the corner. You know?
You just changed the light bulb.
Yeah.
It's got an LED now so it'll never die.
Just like the Queen.
Yeah, right? Maybe the Queen's LED. Wow.
But yeah, going back, The Crown on Netflix, you should check it out.
It's on my to-watch list.
I've only seen the first 2 seasons, and I've seen part of season 3. I believe now they are working on season 5. So they're gonna keep making seasons, I guess, till she dies, because she still has content. She's still living, creating content in the world.
Did she like write a book or something, or do they just pull all this from textbooks?
I think some of this is just pulled from it's like archives of just news, just like actual factual events that have happened. Because obviously there's a lot of. They're like the original Kardashians. The paparazzi in Europe is like really big on them. You know, that's like when Princess Diana died, she was being chased by the paparazzi.
Yeah.
So, you know, that doesn't happen in the States. They don't get that crazy here. The paparazzi gets crazy, but not that crazy. Not enough to make you wreck and die. I don't know.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, they're like the Kardashians of Europe.
The Kardashians canceled their show, though.
No, they didn't. Did they cancel it, or did
It's ending.
They just ended it.
They're ending it. There's no point because they put all the entire lives on Instagram. So, like literally, they put their entire life on Instagram. So what's the point of watching on TV what you just saw them post on in their Instagram live story?
Yeah, good job, Kardashians. You blew an empire.
Well, that's all the news for today.
Yeah, I think that's gonna wrap us up.
Yeah.
Let's thank the sponsors. Young Ideas Dish, they are up here. Yeah, Young Ideas Dish is up here. The local game store is here, and Wavespace Audio is here. There you go. Cool. Thank you guys. On behalf of myself and Miss Kate here,
Hey.
we're Law and Disorder from the Wee Shed. We'll holler at you guys next time.
Peace.
Latest.